Welcome to this explainer. So, you know that whole permanent record thing your teachers always used to warn you about in school? The one they swore would follow you around forever? Well, it turns out they were actually right. It really does exist. In today's hyper-connected world, your digital identity is exactly that. It's a living, breathing, permanent dossier of your life. Literally every search result, every news article, every review, and every single social media profile is out there building a narrative about exactly who you are. And for professionals, business owners, and executives, that digital first impression carries massive, high-stakes consequences. So today, we're unpacking the science and the strategy behind securing that digital footprint. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to take just a quick second and imagine sitting at your laptop right now. You open up a fresh browser, type your exact name into that search bar, and hit enter. What is the very first thing that pops up? What story does page one tell the world about you? We're looking at a modern reality where your online reputation influences virtually every single aspect of your personal and professional life. Honestly, your digital footprint is the gateway to your future. Which brings us to this absolutely critical mantra from our source material. Today, people search before they trust. It really is that simple. I mean, think about it. Before a recruiter even considers calling a candidate for an interview, they search them. Before a client signs a major contract, they research the professionals involved. Business partners are verifying credibility before collaborating, and journalists and investors, they're definitely searching public figures before making any moves. Your online reputation is your first impression, and those first impressions dictate some major life and business decisions. But, what actually happens when that first impression goes horribly wrong? There is just a massive volume of reputation risks out there. We're talking negative search results, damaging news articles, false or misleading information, maybe a sudden wave of one-star reviews, or even a targeted reputation attack. A professional reputation in the modern world is incredibly fragile. Just one-on-one image, a poorly thought-out social media post from a decade ago, or a nasty forum discussion can literally shatter the credibility you spent your entire career building.
And honestly, here's the most frustrating and kind of unfair part of this whole digital ecosystem. Even years-old content can continue affecting your present-day opportunities if it's still visible. The internet doesn't just hand you a clean slate. You could have grown, evolved, and achieved incredible things over the last 5 or 10 years. But if an outdated piece of content or a misleading article from your past still ranks on page one, it is actively destroying your present-day career and business potential. No way around it.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we can completely reframe the solution. Individual reputation repair is not about pulling the wool over anyone's eyes. Not at all. It's the highly systematic process of improving how a person is perceived online by identifying risks, addressing harmful content, and intentionally building a trustworthy digital presence. Think of it more like an objective, empowering digital investigation. You're finally taking back control of your own narrative rather than letting some random algorithm decide your worth. And actually, let me be super clear about the purpose of this process. The goal here is absolutely not to hide the truth. The real goal is to ensure that outdated, misleading, or just plain unfair information doesn't define who you are today. When you engage in reputation repair, you're just making sure your digital footprint accurately reflects your current professional standing. It's all about leveling the playing field and restoring your rightful credibility so that your actual achievements can take center stage. So how do we actually pull this off? Well, the source material breaks it down into this really solid 5-step procedural roadmap. 1. The reputation audit. 2. Search result improvement. 3. Personal branding. 4. Privacy protection. And 5. Ongoing monitoring. This isn't just guesswork, folks. It's a concrete, data-driven strategy for digital recovery. Let's break down exactly how these phases work in the real world. Let's move right into phase 1, the reputation audit. Because look, before you can fix a problem, you have to establish a baseline. You need to know exactly what risks are lurking out there and where the immediate opportunities for improvement actually are. During this audit, every single corner of your digital life gets analyzed. We are talking a deep dive into search engine results, parsing through news articles, evaluating the public footprint of your social media profiles, and scanning online reviews. It even extends to images, videos, and all general public mentions. This sweep literally leaves no stone unturned, making sure any hidden liabilities are finally brought into the light. Once that baseline is set, we enter phase 2 and 3, improvement and personal branding. Here's the reality of the internet. Sometimes certain harmful content simply cannot be deleted. When that happens, the strategy naturally has to pivot. Instead of fighting an impossible battle to erase something, you focus on strengthening positive, relevant, and authoritative content. You're basically building a brand new narrative that outranks and pushes down the negative material by constructing a fortress of credibility. By optimizing your professional bios, launching personal websites, publishing thought leadership articles, securing positive media features, and actively contributing to your industry, you dramatically increase brand trust. You are giving the search engines exactly what they want: high-quality, authoritative content all about you. And that perfectly brings us to phase 4 and 5, protection and ongoing monitoring. So, the crucial point here is that the internet is incredibly dynamic. Search rankings change daily, and new content is being published by the second. Safeguarding your identity requires constant, ongoing attention. This involves reducing the unnecessary public exposure of your personal info to cut down on privacy risks. It means setting up systems to detect new mentions early, identifying potential issues long before they snowball into a full-blown crisis, and just doing the daily work to maintain that positive online presence. Digital identities are always shifting, making ongoing privacy protection an absolute necessity. Now, you might be sitting there wondering, okay, but who is this actually for? The truth is, anyone with an online presence relies on a clean, protected digital footprint. This really spans across the board. We're talking high-level professionals and executives, entrepreneurs and business owners looking to scale, job seekers trying to land that dream role, public figures, influencers, and especially medical and legal professionals whose practices rely entirely on public trust. Every single one of these individuals has their bottom line directly tied to their digital reputation. And this brilliantly illustrates a vital strategic contrast: reactive crisis management versus proactive reputation management. Our sources note that way too many people only think about their reputation after a massive crisis has already hit. But waiting for a disaster, that's a hugely costly mistake. Monitoring your online presence regularly and strengthening your footprint early prevents those minor hiccups from becoming massive disasters. Proactive management is always more effective and, trust me, way less stressful than reactive damage control. When you finally take this proactive approach, the real-world benefits are absolutely tangible. You instantly improve trust and credibility with literally everyone you meet. You open up exciting new career opportunities that might have otherwise been blocked by some random algorithm. You strengthen your personal brand, build unshakable client confidence, protect your digital privacy, and ultimately, you support your own long-term success. You get that incredible peace of mind that comes from knowing your digital identity is actually working for you, not against you. Which brings us to the ultimate question you have to ask yourself today. Will your digital footprint open doors for you, or is it going to slam them shut? Your online reputation is hands down one of your most valuable personal assets. Every single piece of data out there is contributing to how the world perceives you. So are you going to let an automated search engine dictate your future, or are you going to take the wheel? It is time to ensure that your first impression is a completely accurate reflection of your true professional caliber. If you're ready to safeguard those future opportunities, protect your hard-earned credibility, and take absolute control of your digital identity, the time to act is right now. You can learn a lot more about professional, data-driven individual reputation repair solutions by visiting www.clearmyname.org. Seriously, don't wait for a crisis to define you. Take control today.